NCAA automatic bids in this weight class, but Hyaden Hidlay, the man in red right here, the 1 seed and a big favorite to claim his 4th ACC title.
You were unabashed about Austin O'Connor and his ability to win an NCAA championship. Where do you put Hyaden Hidlay's chances to do that?
Hyaden Hidlay's right there with everybody in the country. As a redshirt freshman, he was in the NCAA finals. As a redshirt sophomore, he took Jason Nolf to the end of the end, pushed him harder than anybody, and then obviously didn't get the chance last year, but there are 2 guys that have established themselves above everybody nationally at this weight class. That is Hyaden Hidlay and Ryan Deacon of Northwestern.
So you see the 3-time All-American hoping to become the first ever 4-time All-American at NC State. And, of course, coming up for the consolation, the Wiz will be on the call with Chris Hooks, and he was only at NC State 3 years, or he would have done it, right?
You're exactly right about that. Very impressive. NC State is a program that has won 8 individual NCAA titles, have never had a 4-time All-American. There's not a whole lot of firsts left to accomplish in program history.
Smart young man as well. He's already got a degree in business administration, as you see the points starting to rack up for Hyaden Hidlay. He enrolled in NC State's nonprofit management grad program and was named a 2020 Scholar All-American for the 3rd straight year. This while being one of the top wrestlers in the country. That's a true student athlete right there. Has got to make NC State super proud.
One of the best wrestlers in the country and one of the best student athletes in the country. Pat Papalizio says, if anybody could write a book on how to win NCAAs off the mat, it's Hyaden Hidlay. He's good enough, he could be a coach right now. That's what he said earlier this year.
Do you have any insight on Hyaden Hidlay's plans for next year?
I don't want to say anything is written in stone yet, but when Pat Papalizio talked to us earlier this week, it certainly sounded like Hyaden Hidlay's planning on coming back for a 6th year next season.
There you go, as you saw him release McClure, who's got 1 now. Official score is 6-1. 1 minute remaining here in the first. Hyaden Hidlay, as Ryan told you, a finalist in 2018. That close. And that rivalry he had with Penn State, pretty epic, right?
Yeah, that semifinal match him and Jason Nolf had, controversy, and it was so close. Nobody had pushed Jason Nolf like that in years.
Well, and part of it is, remember, Hayden's from Lewistown, Pennsylvania, so you got to believe Penn State was knocking at his door quite often as well.
Oh, yeah. And he decided to come down to NC State, and I'm sure whenever he sees Penn State on the other side of him, that's a highlight match for him.
He's a perfect 27-0 all-time versus ACC foes in all collegiate competitions, 19-0 in duels, and 15-0 versus ranked ACC foes. Second in school history in career win-loss percentage, only behind Nick Gwazowski, who we just talked about.
Yeah, that's an impressive list right there. Anytime you're in the same breath as Nick Gwazowski, it's impressive. And Hyaden Hidlay showing why early in this match.
8-1. You've seen Hyaden Hidlay up close. Break down the different skill sets, the body type, what makes him so unique as an elite level wrestler.
Well, here's the thing. Hyaden Hidlay was good as soon as he stepped on the mat for NC State. You can see that by his resume. But where he's really developed, in my opinion, is early on he was a guy that relied on the underhook. That's how he got to his offense. He's diversified his offense. He's gotten so much better on top. You see him hitting tilts and scoring back points on top now. I mean, he's a guy that's really rounded out his game as he's gone on throughout his college career.
Started the season with a pin against Gardner-Webb, then a major, then another fall. Decent matchup against Justin McCoy from Virginia. Tech fall over Tyler Badgett from Pitt. And then met McClure, beat him by tech fall 20-5. And here they go again with Hidlay with an 8-1 lead, 1 minute remaining in the second.
Hidlay in deep once again. And he just makes those finishes look easy.
Good work by McClure to get out of there.
McClure hit for stalling there, just his first.
Look at Hidlay bring him back in.
So impressive.
Right?
I mean, this guy does not have a weakness in his game, and he is out there on a mission.
Good shot there of the North Carolina bench, Coleman Scott, who obviously high praise for Josh McClure, but when you're at the level of Coleman Scott, who's, I mean, the guy was at the Olympics, right? You can appreciate big-time wrestling. And I think that's what you're witnessing right there. It's less about saying stuff to Josh McClure and more about soaking in what you're witnessing from the opposition. Then the lessons can be taught later.
Yeah, I think everybody in this conference, coaches, wrestlers, all the way up and down, they all respect what Hyaden Hidlay's done, and many are in awe of it because he's just so good.
Speaking of respect, how about Coleman Scott, Olympic bronze medalist? You have to respect that.
Yeah, Carolina actually has 2 Olympic medals in that corner, Coleman Scott and assistant coach Jameel Kelly. Hidlay just never comes out of position. You saw McClure came up, was standing up straight. Hidlay still just in his stance. That's the thing. If you're a young wrestler watching this, watch Hyaden Hidlay and how he goes about his business. Never out of position, never comes out of his stance, always attacking.
Another shot, 2 more points as he's approaching that tech fall window for sure, Ryan.
Yeah, he can rack up points in a hurry. It's impressive.
There it is. Hyaden Hidlay has not lost a single matchup in the Atlantic Coast Conference since arriving in Raleigh, North Carolina, where we are today. Unbelievable. 28-0 versus the ACC. Phenomenal student, human being, phenomenal wrestler, and the longest active streak right there. Once again, we can send it over to Matt 1 to Sean.